this mama gave birth to this baby, and this mom is nursing this baby. But neither of them are her biological mom. So anyway, a lot of you have been asking because Maggie is stalled right next to Margot and Gracie. How are they doing? Are they missing each other? Like, is Maggie upset that she's no longer nursing Margot? Does she act like fretful or anything like that? Honestly, if she did, we would not have her stalled directly next to them. And this is such an interesting case because I do think it highlights some of the more animalistic parts of horses. Now, don't get it twisted. I understand that horses have emotions, okay? Now, do they have human emotions? No. But what I mean by this specific case highlights their animalistic instinct is that Maggie does not show any signs of missing that baby. And that's because Maggie was pretty much dying. Like, she had nothing left to give. Her body was being spent on that baby by nursing it, by birthing it, all those things. So her instincts told her, okay, I have this baby, I have to take care of it at the detriment of myself. But when we took the baby from her, when we weaned it and put it on Gracie, so we set up Gracie as a nurse mare, we had Gracie lactating, we started working on it for about 10 days, and then we moved Margot to Gracie. Now, at first, Margot was more upset. She was the one who was upset because she loved her mama, obviously, but Maggie didn't really put up a fight. And in the past, like, this is our second baby with her, she absolutely loves her babies. It's not that she was a bad mom. It's not that she didn't love Margot, I'm sure. But her body was telling her, if I'm going to live, I don't need this baby. I've seen this happen in mares who maybe they miscarry late term or they have a baby that was sick that died. It's like they detach. When sickness is involved with horses, oftentimes behaviors change. So whether the relationship is between like a mare and her foal or long-term pasture mates who are bonded, like when sickness arises in whatever case, generally emotional ties are affected. And I've seen a lot of cases be that when that sickness arises, they disconnect. They become more like callous towards the other horse, whether it be a foal or a pasture mate. And then in Margot's case, yes, she was emotionally tied to her mama Maggie. But after a couple of hours, she started eating from Gracie, even though she didn't know Gracie, because her body told her, I'm going to attach myself to who has food for me. So it's interesting to see that, yes, we see horses have relationships. They have best friends. They love their babies. So it's very interesting that even though we see the bonds that happen between horses, in this specific situation, it came down to what's going to sustain my life for both Maggie and Margot. Even now, I see Margot sniffing Maggie. I see that they very nicely interact with one another, but they do not act as a mother and a foal, and they haven't for a long time. And it honestly was wildly quick how she became Gracie's baby and how quickly Maggie started feeling herself and acting like herself after we pulled this little leech off of her. So it's just interesting to see. They are doing wonderfully. I love the fact that we get to stall them next to one another and there not be any drama and everyone is happy and together and healthy. But horses are gritty, man, and they'll do what they need to do to survive. And so while, we do love to put human emotion on animals, and I'm not saying they don't have emotions, and I'm not saying they shouldn't be treated well and, with their emotions in mind a lot of times, but they revert to their very survivalist, what do I need to do to live instincts pretty quickly.